Many Excel datasets are structured as pivot tables, which are easy to read but difficult to analyze in Power BI. In this lesson, you'll learn how to import product data, promote headers, split columns, and use Unpivot in Power Query to convert a pivoted Excel data into a proper tabular format that works within Power BI data models. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's bring few more data sets in. I go to my file and now let's bring product. I'm going to open the file, show it to you. My product data has 4 tables. Product table, and then there is a mapping between product category and product subcategory. Then I have product cost and I have product list price. Let's have a look. So my product table is divided across multiple datasets. I'm going to import all the dataset in, and then I will do some data transformation on it. So I will go within in Power BI, Home tab, New Source, Excel Workbook, connect to your, what do we call, product. Yeah. Now I'm going to select all 4 tabs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. I will select all 4 datasets, right click, and create a new group, and I will put them inside a new group. New group, product. Okay. Let's do some data transformation, and now you have to help me out. Let's start with my product table. Click on the product table, and you tell me what I need to do first. Header, that's correct. See this? It happens all the time when you're working with Excel as a data source. Sometimes it does not understand the heading. So I need to first bring it up, and that option is right here. Use first row as a header. Click on it. Your first row is promoted to the header.
Is that because our data wasn't a table in Excel?
That is correct. If your data would be a table, it understands the boundary, it understands the heading, you will not get this problem. Next, I need to split. It is in a single column, and I need to split that based on a delimiter. Right click, split column by delimiter. Okay. What's next? Then I can rename the columns. Double click. This becomes subcategory. Oh, this actually is product subcategory, and then this becomes a product, right? So we have a product subcategory, we have a product, and we have a product code. What does this tell you? Right? Just by this fact that I have equal number of distinct and unique, I know I don't have a duplicate in this data set. Otherwise, if that was the case, I might need to see what that is, and I might need to fix it. I also know that I have 51 products, right? Okay, let's go to product cost. Again, you can see I have 51 distinct, 51 unique, which means every single value is only appearing once. There is no duplicates. And this 51 also confirms the 51 that I saw inside the product table, which if it was not the case, I might even look at it in detail. Maybe I have a missing product. I have a product for which I don't have a cost. Yes, Usman.
So Ali, this question is a silly one. So I can see there's 51 distinct, 51 unique in product code and product table. So I think we can link it as a primary key. But then if in this product cost table, if we had 50 distinct, 50 unique rows, whereas in product table there was 51, so there is one missing. Do we need to enter that data?
If it's missing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so step number 1 would be you will find what is missing, correct? That will be your step number 1. Once you know what is missing, ideally, you should go back to the data source and add the new row and add the cost for the product, which is not here.
We cannot add it in here rather than going into the source.
You cannot add a row here. You can also do it in DAX. You can have a workaround to add a new record. What you can do is something like this. I'll give you a very simple solution, but I would advise you to not do it. Right? This enter data that we have done.
Yep.
I can create a simple table. I can say product code, right? And I can say product cost, I enter the new product code, I can enter the new product cost, and then I can append it. And I
Yeah.
can add a row at the bottom of it. But I would advise you to not do it. If you find a problem, I would actually go back to the source here and I would add it here. That source might be a system because it's a missing data problem. So ideally it should actually be fixed at the system level.
Okay.
Yeah. So product cost, and just for the sake of consistency, I'm going to click on this 1.2 and I will make it fixed decimal number. Fixed decimal number, it means it will store 4 decimal numbers. And after that point, it will just lose the information. Let's have a look at product category and product subcategory. What do we have here? Use first row as header. Gets promoted, right? Use first row as header. Done. Product list price. Product list price. What is going on in product list price? What are these values on the top?
Product name.
These are product subcategory names, by the way, not product names. So if I go inside product subcategory, see this? These are all your subcategories. If you go back, this is a pivot table structure. What is a pivot table structure, by the way? If value of a column becomes a heading, it's a pivot table, right?
Yeah.
All of these are values of subcategory. And when it runs as a heading, then it goes from left to right instead of top to down, it becomes a pivot table structure. It's very easy to fix something like this, especially if you're someone who deals with a lot of SharePoint. By default, as human beings, we tend to create a pivot table structure because it becomes easier to read the information. But when it comes to working with a data model, we have to convert a pivot table back to a table. And gladly, it's very easy to do. I will select all the columns, which is from column number 2. I start, hold shift, and I select all the columns. So I can select all your product subcategory columns, which has a product subcategory value as a heading. Then I right click, I say unpivot columns. So when the columns are unpivoted,
How do we select all columns?
by using Shift Usman. Click on the second column first, then hold Shift and click on the last column. It will allow you to select all the columns in between.
Okay.
Did you do that?
Yep. I was holding control.
Holding control can also work, but you have to go one column at a time.
So unpivot columns in?
Then right click and unpivot, correct. Okay, so now I can call product sub category. I can call this what? List price. And then I can change the data type to a fixed decimal number. Okay, so we have been able to do the transformation of our product table. Let me know if you have any questions.
I think learning how to unpivot a table was probably made the whole course worthwhile.
That's great. Unpivot, and this is something which is quite tricky to do in Excel. Now, our data transformation is almost complete. Okay, so let's see how do you load it. What do you consider when loading the data set? There is one principle that we will use a lot of. I'm going to use a few terminologies. One is upstream and downstream. What do I mean by that? Upstream and downstream. It's comparative, but Power Query is upstream. Then you go to your data modeling, correct? And then you go to your data visualization. If I have to go more upstream from Power Query, how do I go? What is it?
Source.
It is your data source, correct? Things like SQL or SharePoint. The principle is stop the noise upstream where possible. I'm going to stop whatever noise I can upstream. So my downstream, as I move across the stages, my data model and the data set and the calculation is not very noisy. I don't keep on collecting the technical debt. So consider all the data sets that you have on the left here. Do I need to load everything inside the data model? Do I need to load everything inside the data model?
No.
Okay. What do I need to load?
We want the sales table.
We want the sales table.
Then we'll want a city table.
We need a
create?
city
Yeah,
table.
the city. Yeah.
Why do we need the city? We have the city column inside the sales table.
Maybe. Maybe we
Because
don't then. Oh,
because we have a
because the country. There you go.
correct.
Thank you.
Because we have a country column. Maybe I want to see revenue country by country. So I have a country column which does not exist in the sales table. So that's right. What about all these tables? What about these tables? Do I need them?
No.
Correct? Because these table allows me and creates this one consolidated city table. So I don't need them. What about these tables?
No.
Not required.
Not required because they are only helping me perform the data preparation of the sales table. So they can also stay at the back. What about these product tables?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I need the product. So
Would we not? Would we not like? Could you make one table representing all of them here?
this is exactly the kind of question that we are going to answer in the data modeling. Should we combine them or should we keep it separate? Can I combine city, product list price and create a one single flat file? What to combine, what to merge, and what to keep separate and connect? That's a good way of thinking about it, actually. When to merge and make it flat, when to not merge and make a connection. What do you call relationship? How do you
like
kind of
if you
conceptualize that?
if we're looking at like back at what you said earlier around about having, a data modeler and then authors, I feel like the flatter you can make it, the simpler you're making it on your potentially on your authors.
So
or we're connecting before we even give it to our authors.
we will connect. So when we make it accessible for the report authors, it will already have the connection, it will already have the calculation, it will already have all the data transformation. So basically, this is what we make available for our report authors. Sadly, I took the screenshot. You complete step number 1, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. You complete all the steps. This becomes your model, which already has the connection, right? This means connections.
Okay.
So tomorrow you are going to get a lot more clarity on what to merge and what to make a flat, because that's when we start to go inside data modeling. But let's keep this as an open question. But this is a good question, and that's the conversation that we will have tomorrow. When to make it flat, when to keep it separate, what are the implications of performance, what are the implications of your analysis in the future. But here, how do I make sure that all the data sets are not loaded inside the data model? Do a right click, and this checkbox, which is checked by default, uncheck it. Right click and uncheck. And as you will notice, your data set becomes italic, which is an indication that this data will not be loaded, right? Let's do it one by one. You can't do it for multiple data sets simultaneously. You have to go one by one, one by one. All this means is this data will not be loaded inside the data model. This data will still be refreshed in the background. See, when I do a right click, see this, I'm not deleting the data set. All I'm saying is just don't make it noisy in the data model. Do whatever you want, just keep it at the background. Will refresh. Okay. And then similarly, I'm going to do a right click on the retailer type, data transformation. Right? I have disabled the load of all these data sets. And once you've done it, now I can close and apply. When you do a close and apply, right, all the scripts that we have been building since this morning actually runs on the complete data set, cleans it, transforms it, and then loads the clean data set inside the data model. That's what happens. See, when I close and apply, it closes, Power Query Editor applies the steps, basically your script, and then loads it in the model. That's what happens. And the bigger the data set, the longer it can take, because that's where it works through the entire data set. Close and apply.